James Harden has too big of an ego, and so is Kyrie Irving.
Mm-hmm.
When Kyrie Irving's on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but so obviously there is the potential that Ben and him could get swapped. But I guess
And
Daryl.
then there's another diva.
Well, yeah,
Ben Simmons ain't gonna solve anything.
Yeah,
It's
well,
gonna make problems worse.
But I don't even know where that's gonna go because this whole thing seems like a stalemate because I guess Daryl Morey ended up calling Sean Marks and basically said, "Hey, so what's the deal on James?" And Sean Marks goes, "James who?" Because they have James Johnson, they have James Harden, and apparently Morey ended up saying, "Oh, James Harden," and Marks was like, "No, I'm not doing that."
Yeah,
And,
but they're also asking a very high price for James Harden.
well, they're asking.
I saw something that was
they're
like,
asking a king's ransom for Ben Simmons. It's absurd what they're asking for him.
yeah, but I saw something
I
for
think-
James Harden. It was
it
like
is
Ben Simmons, like a 2 first-round picks.
It's ludicrous what they're asking for Ben Simmons at this point. Listen, I'm not saying that Ben Simmons isn't talented, but he's garbage. I think that he's
They're both garbage.
Ben Simmons is wildly overrated in terms of
completely. That man should not have made an All-Star game when he did. He
Yeah.
shouldn't have.
Never.
definitely made
Right.
two.
Never.
What are your thoughts on the whole situation,
Yeah.
Ryan?
I mean, I never. I mean, I was talking in a group chat today. I didn't understand this push like trade Harden agenda. I like didn't even understand why it was coming up. Like why are the Nets going to trade their big three? They're just injured right now, and Kyrie can't play like home games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And their record together, I think, is they've only played like 16 games, but they're 13-3 together. And it's just like I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me right now, especially when you have a whole year left. You could do this next year at the deadline.
Well, it is,
I mean,
you could do it. There are talks too that this is basically a giant game of chicken, and it essentially also and it basically could line up a deal for this summer. That's something a lot of people are talking about too, because I don't think that you would do a deal for these guys next year because you would only have half a year of James Harden. I don't think that Philly would want to do that. They already tried that with Jimmy Butler, and that didn't really work out for them. So I think,
my God, that's right. They had Jimmy Butler.
So I think if they want to go get a guy, they want to get a guy probably for a full season and get their money's worth with a guy like that. I don't think they would have that situation with Ben Simmons.
Vietnam flashback from Jimmy Butler.
I will say that like Daryl Morey, it was brought up to me in a conversation. He always, will scrape just to hold players until he gets, he over advertises them until he actually gets somebody to overpay for him.
Yeah.
So I think eventually someone's going to overpay.
Well, Daryl Morey literally said that if he had to, because of how disgruntled he was with Ben Simmons, he would literally wait 4 years and would wait for his contract to expire rather than not get what he thinks is worth for him.
Well, I mean, they're not paying him, so.
Yeah, so there is that. But at the same time, I don't know. Ben Simmons just has always just pissed me off as a player because, and I said this on a show, and I actually have a clip up on my Instagram about this. The man doesn't try. I really don't think he tries to improve his craft. I really don't.
Ben Simmons?
No, I don't.
No. Hell no.
Listen,
that was one of his draft problems.
Yeah, well, he doesn't seem willing to. He doesn't seem willing to learn how to improve anything at all. And again, I've said this before. He will never be fucking Steph Curry. He'll never be that guy. He'll never be Michael Jordan at shooting. He'll never even be Joe Ingles when it comes to shooting.
You're not that guy, pal.
I'm
not
saying,
that guy.
I'm not saying you need
that guy.
I'm not saying you need to be money from 3 or even from mid range. I'm just saying, don't get to the 3-point line and have everyone just like run to the paint. That's all I'm asking for me at this point. Just have it to be to the point where, the guys don't know whether if you're going to pass it to them out in the open, they're going to put it up. I said it on a previous show. I said, listen, I think Marcus Smart shoots it a little too much sometimes, but at least I know that there's the chance that he could knock it down, and
slight chance.
And defenders at least have to be weary of, and they see him out alone beyond 3. They have to be like, oh shoot, I actually have to go over and cover that guy. Whereas they look over, they see Ben Simmons, and they go,
yeah, and they don't even
like, I don't want to deal with you.
They don't even bother guarding him because I remember somebody brought up that point with like Giannis, but the problem is Giannis plays bully ball, and he's huge, and he'll just bully you in the paint.
But even
Ben Simmons can't do that.
But even Giannis is getting a jump shot now.
Exactly. Giannis wants to work. Ben Simmons will not work. And that was probably in a scouting report.
Ben Simmons is a lazy piece of shit. I'm sorry.
No, that was, I'm pretty sure if you look up a scouting report, it was like lazy.
Yeah.
And it isn't coachable.
Well, no, a guy I've had on the show before, Brett Lauren, he hosts the Too Tall Sports podcast. He literally pulled up his LSU profile, and he literally said, yeah, lacks a work ethic, has problems with coaches, doesn't want to do this.
And I'm an LSU fan, so that's exactly right. So.
Yeah. And it literally is verbatim what we saw with Ben Simmons. It's disgusting. I hate it so much.
What a loser.
Because, I don't know. I mean, not only should he have never been the rookie of the year,
Rookie of the year.
I mean, also,
it was his second year.
Right.
Yeah. Also, if you're going to send this clown to Brooklyn, how the hell is that going to be any better than James Harden? I at least see
You're sending one clown and getting another clown.
But I at least see James Harden. I see a guy who can at least shoot the basketball. I mean, I know that Durant and Kyrie can do that too. But there's at least a way where I can see that work. I mean, from what I can tell, Ben Simmons is essentially a 6'10" point guard, and a traditional point guard because he can't shoot it whatsoever.
Right.
So I'm just like, you have Kyrie. Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna put him out at shooting guard? Like, what's the deal with it?
All right, here we go. I got a little take right here.
Okay, go ahead.
So when I see Ben Simmons, I think Lonzo Ball, but hear me out. So Lonzo's been working on a shot, and if Lonzo can hit a shot in the clutch time, I personally think now he can.
Yeah,
before he could.
Well, before he was inverting himself and doing this crazy shot that his dad approved of.
Yeah, but now
he's learned.
He's one of the best overall point guards, I think, at the position. And I think he's up there because he's smart. He'll pass the ball, but he knows where to pass the ball.
I respect that.
So I think that Ben Simmons needs to learn that, but he won't. Lonzo Ball doesn't care. He'll go 0 shots, 0 points, but he'll have like 25 assists, to Zach LaVine and then all the other guys. DeMar DeRozan, he'd be passing that ball. And then Ben Simmons can do that. Ben Simmons is smart enough to do that. He has those skills, but his ego is getting in the way.
For Ben Simmons' entire life.
Ben Simmons, that's the thing. But the best thing that Ben Simmons could probably do is learn to play similar to Lonzo Ball, but his ego will not allow him to do that.
For a lot of,
because he wants to be that guy.
Exactly. For a lot of pro athletes and guys like Ben Simmons, I don't know Ben Simmons' actual story. I don't know anything like that. But for a lot of pro athletes, when they grow up, they're the best guy in their town. They're the best guy in their district, the best guy everywhere else, and they know it. And it's hard to shrug that, and it's because you're like, I'm the best guy here. I have a full ride to this school. I mean, when he was at LSU, I think he literally I think basically did the mathematics out to have the minimum GPA requirement to be eligible. I think like the minimum GPA is like, I mean, what is it, like a 1.9 or something?
Oh, to be NCAA eligible? Yeah, no, it's like a 1.7.
Yeah, Ben Simmons,
like you have to try to get a 1.7.
Ben Simmons literally did that because he would just never show up to class. He would show up to the amount of classes that he legally needed to keep that GPA and stay eligible. And then once the season was over, he stopped going to class entirely.
Yeah, he didn't
and he just went to the gym. And honestly, I get that with the way the one and done rule is. I'm not faulting him for that, but
there should be just no one and done rule at this point.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a joke, but at the same time, you would think a guy like that would be willing to put in the work and do stuff like that, but instead it's just him sticking his nose in the air and basically just going, oh, you know what? Because I've been the best for so long, what do I need to improve on my game? I've been able to get to this level and be so great with this. And I'm not saying Ben Simmons isn't a above average and good basketball player. Obviously he is, or otherwise he wouldn't have gotten the contract he got. But
he would have been drafted first overall.
Yeah,
wouldn't have been.
Yeah, but when it comes to this though, I mean, yeah, exactly. He wouldn't have been drafted first overall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has tremendous talent, but he refuses to improve upon it.
Exactly.
It's just what it pisses you off because again,
there's so much talent.
Well, again here because 5'10", play like a 7-footer because I have to, and I just don't have that ability. And I look at this guy who's literally built like a Greek god and literally
he doesn't care.
Yeah, and he's just lazy about it. And I'm just like, dude, you just feel cheated because you see a guy just built like that and who has tremendous intangibles and stuff like that, and
size, and athletic ability,
and it just feels so wasted.
Wasted talent. I see that in swimming.
Yeah.
Wait, you see people that are built like Michael Phelps, the broad shoulders, the big arm length, the just built, and then they just don't care. And you're like, well, why? And again, you see Ben Simmons, why?